Are you ready to ride the frequency? Are you ready to ride the frequency?
Welcome, everybody, to another edition, Riding the Frequencies, being broadcast on Bigfoot Outlaw. Welcome, Leanne. How you doing today?
Hello, Grizzly. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube and StreamYard land. How you doing?
Yes, Missy Hammer, Lorna, and hello, everybody, broadcasting live from outside of Indianapolis. So how was your weekend?
My weekend was fabulous. It was very gentle, and I got some website updating done, much to the demise of my eyesight. But, my eyes grow back because maybe I'm a lizard.
Right. So how much did you get done?
Well, I loaded some throwback stuff on the record label.
Oh,
well, first
nice.
of all, let's go back. I updated LianeCurtis.com so that it doesn't say coming soon anymore. It just says a big giant riding the frequency and it's got links. So if you click on that, it takes you to the YouTube. If you click on my name, it takes you to my website, and it's just keeps sending everybody back in circles, kind of like the government. It's fun.
And ladies and gentlemen, the link is not only in the comment section, it's also down in the description, YouTube, with all of her music and all of her other links. So make sure and check them out, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, she does have a special on artwork and all of her things that she showed a couple of shows ago. So make sure and check that out as well. And I'll be pimping some of that on her shows too coming up. So yes, and absolutely. So what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, vocabulary. Like I feel like vocabulary is really important, and I feel like as I become more aware of the words I use and what, for lack of a better word, frequency they have, because you can describe something with 5 different words and each word is accurate to what you're describing, but each word has a slightly different feeling that goes with it. So I really, like, I was in a text the other day and it was funny. I was like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm a hot mess. Like, well, okay, really? Does it have to be self-deprecating? And when it is that maybe some weird layer of not accepting myself that I'm covering? And then people are like, well, come on, man, you're so literal. Have a sense of humor. I do have a sense of humor. Clearly, majorly twisted sense of humor. Just ask Vanilla Dick. He knows. But aside from my twisted sense of humor, which, broad spectrum, there's the other side of it where I really would like to watch what comes out of my pieholio. Why? Because if I want to change my experience, first I have to see myself differently. So how am I describing myself in between my ears when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm just getting ready to go to bed? How am I feeling about myself? What words am I using? And then what words do I use with you guys? And how big is the gap between my organic self that I live with daily and who I am for you, with you? Most of the time, I literally have no filter because honestly, I don't know who else to be. I don't know how else to see other than through the eyes and the vessel I'm using to express myself, and I think it's really important. So as I've been shifting how I describe myself to myself, little things. I'll go back again. I'm so grateful that Grizzly showed up. I had no idea when I wanted to do a podcast and talk to people and have a place where I could be seen and heard, because the 3 people I talk to don't want to hear it, to the point where they're estranged now. That would be my family. Like oh God, is she going to talk about energy again? Oh God, is it going to be about Joe Dispenza? Is that all you talk about? Well, yeah, when somebody's in the middle of a major shift, of course, that's what they're talking about. Everything that they've surrounded themselves, which is allowed themselves to give themselves permission to have an epiphany, and then give themselves further permission to take the downloads, information, open-mindedness, get rid of the toxic stuff, get rid of the toxic stuff, so that ding, sorry,
But you're
strike
so
one.
right. And
But
the thing though is, you're right, and a lot of people don't understand that.
see, and there it is. Like, and some people, and I guarantee you, I've done this. Like, you have the information, you get really excited about it, and then instead of sitting with it right away and being quiet with it, you get excited and want to tell all your friends, which only then makes you the pariah who nobody wants to talk to, because that's all she ever talks about. Well, you know what? Pendulum. I'm listening to a book called Reality Transurfing. Very interesting. But pendulums, they're there. They swing. They swing. It's like, what side of the pendulum? And do you want to be on a side, or do you want to be balanced? Do you have to experience both sides viscerally to get to the point where you can be balanced? Because balance has no meaning unless you're whack. For me, I chose to get into all kinds of crazy entanglements, and I think it was my subconscious, excuse me, driving me to expand in the way that is unique unto me. No, I'm not going to listen to my mom. No, I'm not going to listen to school. School makes me feel icky. I'm going to quit. There's something wrong with what's being blasted. I want to have my own ideas. Let me learn my way. I don't think I've suffered for it, except for stories people tell about who LIANE is, because they've been sucked into some rigid way of processing things. So it goes back to vocabulary. It can be weaponized. Vocabulary, it can be used to soothe people, which brings a whole other topic. Like, maybe next week we could talk about self-soothing. I'm going to try really hard with my wiring to stay focused on vocabulary.
Well, not only that, but each word contains power, energy that shifts, that can do mindsets.
Correct.
Dialogue, motivates, inspires other people, even yourself. You can also use words to demonstrate and demotivate, discourage, disengage, and in some cases make people ill.
Well, and I've done both, to myself and others. I mean, to be brutally honest, I love hard. I do love hard. But when I'm in survival mode and running from myself and trying to be everybody that I think I'm supposed to be for everybody, and can't sit still and all this stuff, and then I'm having babies, and I was probably a fun mom, but so not a fun mom. Like, I but I did the best I could with what I had at that time. So now all of us are left with reflection on what happened, who we are today. What do we want to do with it? Do we want to use it as an excuse to stay estranged? Do we want to use it as motivation to try to come together and something as a collective? There's no rule in society. In society, there is a rule. It's like, you respect your mom and you respect your dad. And, what if your mom and dad are really horrible people who made you feel this big the whole time you were little? Is there some rule that says you still need to respect them or entangle with them as an adult and not choose your family who actually uplifts you? If your parents aren't capable because of their upbringing to have compassion for them and have compassion for that, but not entangle with it. So many different levels of, self-care and choosing to see things in a way that's the least malignant for the people involved? You know, how do you think of people in your head? What vocabulary do you use to describe the people in your life in your head? And would you say that directly to their face? And why not? And how do you close that gap? Do you want to close that gap? So many questions people don't ask themselves or sit with, that I've had the luxury of, you know, isolating and pondering, you know? So it's all subjective. This is all my point of view. I don't know anybody else. I don't know what anybody else's experience has been, but in my experience, the things that lead me to be able to feel okay in my own skin have directly to do with how I see myself, what words I use to describe myself, what words I use to describe the world around me. Does it make me feel better than to tisk tisk at somebody's behavior? Really? Does it? Does it make me feel like a better person, or does it make me feel like I'm just being scrutinous for the sake of feeling better because it's old behavior? You know? No. People who act up and do things that are not seen as kind, maybe, or responsible, even if it's in a passive way, whatever their story is, you know, trying to find compassion for their being addicted to a program that's running them, as opposed to feeling victimized by their program because it's running them, and then complaining that you don't do that, but they do. Really? You know, do I have to go there? Less and less. It's a work in progress. You know, I mean, what words am I using to describe Molly Ringwald and my relationship? What words am I using to describe being Brat Pack adjacent as opposed to in the Brat Pack? Well, that would lead back to my own very out of control behavior, and not being somebody who was in her right mind, literally, when I was shooting 16 candles. So as much as I have an old script of She's Having a Baby and Breakfast Club that I was handed, I self-sabotaged those two. So we have Ali Sheedy and Elizabeth McGovern, who did wonderful jobs. I don't, you know, and it's really hard still, 40 years later, to reframe that. Like, I do my best, you know. I did the best I could with what I had in the moment. Was it cool? No. Did Molly have to rifle through my props bag to redo her makeup because she didn't like the local makeup artist? No.
Wow.
Did she have to tell everybody that she found a vial of cocaine in there? No. Did she? Yes. Did I learn the hard way? By, you know, in the drive-in, thinking I was cool, like bending down and doing a little whatever between takes. My mic was on. Dopey. Literally. What are you doing? What are you doing? You know, it's not like I was some kind of box office to be able to get away, you know. So it's almost, you know, America's dumbest criminals. Well, America's dumbest ingenues. You know, I just really wanted to feel powerful so badly, you know, and it was the way I did it, like, just not good. So now, for the first time in 40 years, I have to sit with this woman in the same structure, whether I get to talk to her, be in the same room with her, whether she allows me in her space, whether I don't know. Who knows? For years, was I angry that she did that and told on me? Yeah. Ultimately, had I not done that, would she have found anything? No. So whose fault is it? Not Molly's. So, you know, I have to have compassion for who I was. And I have to just be really humble when I walk in there and say hi to her. If it goes that far. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. I just know who I am today. And that I do my best not to set myself up. You know, did I plan on saying all that out loud to everybody in here? No. Did it come out? Yeah. Why? Because I don't know who else to be. That's who I am. I just told you the truth. Like, I don't know who else to be. I don't have a reason to make anything up.
Lorna says, I love your raw honesty, Leanne. That's what
Do I
people
do
love.
cocaine now? No. you know. And no, I have never been to any, quote, wild Hollywood parties where weird things were going on. Never, ever was that part of my Hollywood experience. You know, a lot of people like to describe me as, oh, well, she's Hollywood. No, I'm actually an island girl. I come from the island of Manhattan, man. That's what I am. I'm an island girl. I'm of the earth. I'm from the stars. We're all stardust. I'm consciousness. I'm awareness. I'm a creator. I'm here to share who I am. And the people who would like to listen and be with me on my journey, great. And the people who can't deal, that's okay. You know, I love you. No
I
harm,
love
no
your
foul.
hair too. They say it's fabby.
Thank you. It's what happens when you wash it. It's my new thing because I happen to have had COVID. I think I may have mentioned back in February when my vibe kind of tanked and I got very 3D on myself and old behavior got triggered and I got into a very anxious place, which allowed my immune system to tank just long enough to let that little spiky guy in. And as a result, literally my hair is about half of what it used to be. It all fell out from April, May, June, July, August, September. It's finally stopped. It was coming out in handfuls. I thought, what the heck is this, man? Oh no. I'm going to have to, tell everybody I'm Grizzly's sister. And
I'll take it.
it's okay. I'm related to way worse. I didn't say that.
What the frick?
Like the idea and the likelihood that any of my family is even watching right now are so slim and none. So whatever.
Actually, you have 4 people riding the frequency YouTube that are tuned in.
Oh, really? I'm going to
Yeah.
guess it's probably my friend Linda Jeffries, maybe Vanilla Dick. Who else? I don't know who else would be on there. On them.
So welcome. Hey, don't be bashful if you're tuning in. Say hello in the comments. Let Lady Leanne know who you are if you like.
Let me know who you are. Stalking me on my YouTube channel this way.
Yes, absolutely. We'd love to have you. Nate says it's me. One of them.
Nate! Oh, I love Nate. He was my one and only. No, I aired his in 2 parts. He's Mr. Ayahuasca. He's actually been I don't know if I should out you. Doing some
not Vanilla Dick.
Not Vanilla Dick.
Well,
we know who Vanilla Dick isn't.
It cracks me up.
Well, it's good. Yeah, that's going to be like a long. No, not very not. So different.
I'm not going to be able to go to the ice cream store again without thinking of that. So
the ice cream store. We need to go to Salt and Straw. Like one of these days, I'm going to figure out how to go live remotely, and we're going to go on a field trip. And I actually found an old song that I wrote and recorded with my daughter, but I could take a clip of it and play just that little clip just for that segment. I have segment music. This is how exciting it is. I decided I have segment music today. And I don't know if anybody out there in audience land noticed. I put the, my umbrella's showing. Oh no. Oh no. That's not what we're doing. Set dresser. Where's the set dresser? What is it? What did I do? I see the umbrellas. I'm so sorry.
Cut.
I do cut. Cut.
We got to do a retake. Retake in 5.
My umbrella's showing. So is my epidermis. So is yours. So yeah, I mean, coming back to all that other serious stuff I was saying, it's like how easy is it and how hard is it to shift the vocabulary we use and check ourselves during the day? It's nobody else's job to, because if somebody else is checking you, then they'll surely have a story about why you're behaving the way you are, when it's really
absolutely
none of their business in the first place. And second of all, the only person who knows that is you. And if it's subconscious, then you still know it. It's just buried a little bit, So literally they used to say, oh, go have a meeting with yourself. My friend Jeb, rest in peace. He ran a place called Wits End back in LA, and he embraced my little daughter when she started playing live. And I remember one time we were there and she was playing, and he just turned around and looked at me and said, all right, love, it's shot o'clock. How about some Jameson? And I looked at him and I said, oh, Jeb, thank you so much. That's so generous. Look, I don't drink. And he just looked at me and said, I think you have to have a little meeting with yourself and we'll try again. It's shot o'clock. Would you like some Jameson? And I said, heck yeah, let's go. And then I threw it back and made my face that I make every time I throw back fire water. It's kind of like Tom Hanks and Big. It's really, it's funny to watch. And I have a good sense of humor about myself when it comes to alcohol, but really it's not my favorite thing in the world. So yeah, no judgment on anybody who likes to have their shot at shot o'clock.
Right, isn't that the truth?
Right, it's like I'm one to talk. I love my edibles, and I hope that one day we get to live in a society where adult people who are consenting get to choose how they interact with, plant medicine. Yeah, plant medicine, things that aren't made in a pharmacy, I guess. If it's not hurting anybody else, why does there even need to be? And I'm talking specifically about the personal use within the sanctity of one's own home. I'm not talking about abuse of any kind or minors using. I'm just saying, hopefully one day we get to live in a place where we can see ourselves as compassionate, loving people, and try to play that out in the dream of the 3D reality. Like, I can't call it anything but that at this point.
It's all about the money.
Well, that's okay. It can be like that in a world, but I don't necessarily need it to be like that in my world. Do I need money? Yeah, to function in 3D, but is it the be all and end all? No, it's a frequency. And I think if people had right relationship to money, whatever that means, that's a whole other topic. But it also has to do with self-talk, how you value yourself, if you feel like you deserve it, if you feel like money's hard to come by. Like, it all depends on what you actually believe. That's definitely gonna color your daily dreamscape of my life, from the minute you wake up in the morning to the minute you go to sleep at night.
Right.
It's not separable. Your consciousness and your awareness is not, I'm not talking about out-of-body experiences and astral projection, right? You're not separable from this vessel until the vessel no longer sustains your everything, So you're something infinite that's encapsulated in a finite compartment. What are you going to do with that? When I feel and I look at myself as I'm consciousness and awareness, and I'm lucky that I have a vessel in which I can express stuff, like all the experiences I went through. Some days I think, oh God, what a bunch of time you wasted. You're going to be 60 on your next birthday and you just started releasing music like this year. What are you doing? What were you doing? I was humaning. I was experiencing so that I can have an opinion. I didn't do it.
Run. Cut.
Hide me. What?
Oh, that's funny. But
Sometimes.
a lot of people are saying the same thing what you're saying, and they do agree. And that's that voice. But a lot of people don't realize what you've been tied up with for the last few years as well. So you were muted.
With the boys in blue.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not
But
trying to compete.
a lot of people don't know what you've been tied up with in the past few years as well.
Well, no, and people don't know me. They like to think they know me because I was in 16 Candles and they saw that movie 20 times and they know LIANE Curtis. Like, what?
I think I saw it more than that. Yeah, every time it comes on, I'm on it. So I still watch it.
Oh man, when I was at the dispensary doing my my hangout for the 80s hangout that night, back on the 11th of October, when I was at Flower Power Dispensaries at 22 West 66th Street. See how I did that? Slick. Put that in there.
Right in.
Maybe Amanda's probably listening. I feel like she's cooking dinner for her littles.
Steve Rogers says I got it on DVD.
Well, it's Girlfriend from Hell is the one. I think like that's the one. That's the one closest.
I could go out and rewatch that one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I was at the dispensary, and the people. One of the guys, I think it was the guy that does the social media. Abe, he says to me, "Oh, my girlfriend loves that other movie you were in." I said, "Which one? Critters 2?" He said, "No." I said, "Baby, It's You." No, the other one.
Oh my gosh.
I said, "Girlfriend from Hell?" And he said, "Yeah, that one. I'm going to have to go look at that one again." I'm going, "Oh, okay." But I think really it probably was my favorite one to shoot, I have to say. I mean,
yeah, it's only like you got like 30-something ones that you were in, so it's not like you know which one people are talking about.
Wow, no, well, I wish it were that prolific, but maybe, look, my friend told me once there's an actress named Louise Fletcher. She played the original Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So anybody who's in the older generations on their YouTube out there will maybe have seen that film with Jack Nicholson. But nobody had ever heard of her, really. She was kicking around forever. And then she hit it big. I think she was in her 50s. So, because I seem to have good genes and because my vessel seems to be relatively resilient,
Right.
Who knows what kooky stuff lies ahead. I definitely have some stories to tell, and I'd love to have the opportunity to do that, and maybe squeeze them into some content that lasts longer than 4 minutes a pop. But, I'm grateful that I have the ability to do that. Run.
I need to get a background.
It's my getaway.
I can click on a background. Change your scenery for you.
Why do you want to change my scenery so nobody can see my
So when you're riding a motorcycle or riding a bicycle, I can change it to
so I can actually be on the most. See, this is it, and that makes me circle back to the relationship we all have with artificial intelligence. It's kind of passive aggressive. It's good when it does what we want it to, and then artificial intelligence. We're gonna have to really think about that one, I feel like, but Anyway, so it's been an hour. I can't believe it's been an hour. I really hope I hope that I said stuff that helps somebody. And if what I said didn't help anybody, I really appreciate you guys taking the linear time to sit here and listen to me say it, because it sure helps me to be able to say it out loud, because it reinforces what I would like to have modeled for me by others, and what I would like to model for others best I can, So wish me luck this weekend with Molly Ringwald. Or without,
Are
or
you going to
not.
take any short videos so we can post them, or?
Let me see how it goes. Like, this is what I plan on having a really good time, and doing. The Wi-Fi is always really sketchy. Otherwise, I'd say,
No, that's
um,
always people don't understand it, because I always say I'm going to go live places, and I get there and they're like, we don't have Wi-Fi. I'm like, what do you mean?
right.
Sure. Yeah.
So if I can go live, I will. If I can't go live, I will try to be disciplined and get a little footage when I visit people at their tables, and see if
If
I
you can
kind
go
of.
live, if you got enough cell, or if you have Wi-Fi, call me and we'll stream it.
Well, that's
I'm
if
just
you're
saying, the
not
offer's
on the
there.
beach someplace shooting some UAPs and UFOs and TR-3Bs coming out of the
Yeah,
water.
not this weekend. I got this weekend off. So if you want to do it, I'll do it. You can walk around with your phone and film and show and do your thing.
Maybe I can get my friend John to come help me out for a day in exchange for free admission. We'll see. I'll shoot him a little text. He's actually a professional. He's IATSE. He works on a show, or worked on a show called oh gosh, what's it called? The one where they separate and the people all work in the place and they go back to their bodies at night, but they don't get to remember what they do.
Oh, you're what's it?
What show is it? I forgot what it's called. I block these things out. Sorry. My bad.
I the
See how Hollywood I am? I'm so bad. It's like I don't remember anybody's name. If they're in the store next to me eating, I don't recognize anyone. It's not
it's hard to remember everybody. Even when I'm out at places and people are like, "Don't you remember me?" And I'm like, "Sorry."
I love you too, Nate.
I know.
He's such a nice man. We'll have to have him on, because he's
absolutely always.
Yeah. He's very special. He's very special.
Always.
We can talk about how we met, and now how we stay friends this whole time. Oh man. Well, so like maybe next week we could talk about self-soothing and how we do that, and how maybe we used to do that, and how we don't do that anymore, but we do something else that's a little less unhealthy. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem being raw. Like, my mom brought me up saying things like, if you can't talk about it, then don't do it.
Right.
And I feel like I'm way more like that these days. I really live by that, I'm human as much as I am consciousness. They're inseparable. But which one's in the lead? That's all. And whose job is it to pay attention to that and make choices and how to use that?
Yeah, see, Roger says if people call him by his name, he didn't even know who they are as well. It's hard to remember everybody.
Oh yeah, I'll remember your phone number faster than I'll remember your name. But that's just a weird wiring. Like Mary Lou Henner, she'll tell you what day of the week.
I know a few people like that remember phone numbers rather than names. Nothing wrong with that. So, and where can people get your artwork?
You know what? It's right now, like, the artwork is more of a conundrum to me. I'll figure out if I can get a link, because my LianeCurtis.com doesn't have a store. I need to upgrade that website, but I'm not comfortable paying $80 a month for 2 websites. So I've got the store on the record label, and you can download and buy all the music you want. And I will try to figure out a way to sell the artwork as merchandise on the record label site.
But if not, they can go to LianeCurtis.com and email you for the artwork, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Or email
There we
me
go.
through the Movie Records website. Either way, like it goes to one of my emails, and I'll figure it out.
And all the links are in the description, everybody. So make sure and check it out. We always have them posted. So yes, check them out.
Are we doing Mantis hands?
Yeah, Mantis hands. And next week we'll have her display the artwork again. So, Bunny, but yes, absolutely.
And if you live in New Jersey, come find me over the weekend in Parsippany.
Yeah, we got to do some filming. We got to do some filming together somehow. We got to work that out.
Well, we both have cars. Maybe we can meet in the middle. Maybe we can go visit Vanilla Dick and put it on camera.
Well, that'd be funny.
We'll have to blur him out, though, because he has to stay in Enigma.
Yeah, blur his face out, pixelate him.
Yeah.
Changes his voice, make it real deep.
Yep, that's right. It's Vanilla Dick. No one knows.
That'd be a good one.
No one but the Shadow knows. But the Shadow's dead. So's Bob Monroe. Thank God we're not. And I think we're done. We're not dead, and we're done.
Isn't that the truth?
What?
You crack me out.
Have a good weekend, you guys. Wish me luck.
Yes, and let me know about if you got Wi-Fi. If you want to do it, we'll hook you up because I'll be around all weekend. So yes.
Yeah, and follow me on Spotify. That helps too. Listens on Spotify. You can always turn your
link down in the description. The link. Click, click, click. So yes.
Right. Hit the Spotify. Put the songs on. Put it on circle. Turn the volume down. Walk away from your computer.
There you go. Yeah, that actually helps. That really helps you.
It does, unless they bust you. And there's always, the link on the Spotify if you want to help the artists. I'm always happy to take it from you. But, not because I'm offering you anything but music. I'm not a savior.
Well,
I'm just trying to figure things out.
And
trying to figure stuff out like everybody else.
Little kid said Etsy's free where I saw my crafts.
Etsy's great. I just
don't
have the bandwidth to be in like a million different stores and have to run a bunch of different stores.
I know that's the problem. I have my Spotify account where I have all my
Otherwise,
stuff.
I would never be able to write the music that I put on Spotify if I'm so busy juggling and maintaining so many accounts. It's kind of, I'm trying to back away from being attached to the digital online world best I can and just use it where I need to, sparingly and with purpose and robustly.
Right. All right. We'll get it worked out.
So yeah, you guys have a good weekend. Stay cool. Be nice to yourselves. Make sure your self-talk is kind.
Yes.
And if things go sideways, just focus on your breath. Breath. Grizzly, breath.
Yeah, I didn't. You know what? People swore up and down. They thought that's what I said. Like, I was like, no. I was repeating what she said.
I didn't say that. I said breath.
I said, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we got a show coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And stay tuned because if she can go live and she's going to do it, I will broadcast it and we'll see what happens. So we'll see you shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.
All right. Love you guys. Keep riding the frequency.
YouTube channel near you.